While the first aspect is feeling that everything just as it is so right that you could say of it, this is why I'm alive. This is what life's all about. The second is that everything you see and feel seems to come to life in an extraordinary way. You feel the world as you've seen it before was seen almost in a dream. But it is as if just the ordinary things that were confronting you suddenly went, yeah, and came alive. And the third aspect of it is that you no longer feel yourself and what you are experiencing to be separated. Although you don't lose the feeling of the outline of your skin, you don't forget that I, or Joe Dokes, is a possible name by which you can refer to yourself. Nevertheless, it suddenly seems to you that your skin is no longer what divides you from the world, it's what joins you to it. What you see outside you is also you. Now, we ordinarily restrict the idea of ego, of I-ness, or of you-ness to some sort of psychological entity or process inside us which is in control of things. And we identify ourselves with a sort of controlling center. But in this experience, it is as if that center were suddenly enlarged to include the whole universe. It is feeling that you and this whole world are one, and that in this experience of oneness and the sudden coming alive of everything, and the profound rightness of each moment, of this moment, however far it may seem to be short of one's ideals of perfection, this is it. This is what it was all about. And so you might say, this experience then, which is the foundation of these great forms of Oriental philosophy, that sounds wonderful, and I'd like to get it. This sort of transformation of consciousness happens to a person only in the moment they start to treat life not as something to be grabbed. And so one of the great problems is how on earth to get ourselves to give up clinging. Well, you know, in Zen, they have a means of teaching people how to stop clinging. The Zen way of teaching teaches one to see that you cannot be in complete control of your whole life situation. You cannot, in other words, fundamentally possess yourself. And so they set you the problem of trying to find out who you are. Who is the knower behind all your experience? Who is the experiencer? Who is the ego, the I? They ask you, act with total sincerity. Show me, in the Zen way of putting it, who you were before your father and mother conceived. In other words, show me your real, basic, original self. And this means perform an absolutely 100% genuine and sincere act. Well, you know how it is when you try to be sincere. When you try to be natural, you know jolly well that you're trying and that everything you do is a fake. And so in the same way, the Zen student finds out that he cannot act 100% genuinely with his whole being. And he gets frustrated again and again and again as the teacher rejects every attempt he makes to show him his real self, until the moment comes when he suddenly realizes, not just as an idea, but something that he knows in his whole body, he knows with his very bones, that it can't be done. You cannot intentionally be natural. And he gives up. And in the moment when we let go of ourselves in that way, zoop, there comes upon us this experience of the void. To be free from being stopped, being phased, is part of the Satori experience.